Hello to you. So I'm here at the Millionaire Mind, and what I want to do is give you a review of day one. What an incredible day. So let's start with this first. This is the book here, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Now this book was the very first book where the author got $1 million for an unpublished author. Came out 30 years ago. It's changed millions of people's lives. So you can read the book, or you can actually come to a 3-day event and actually do the work. Because most of us read a book and we don't do the work. So I find it absolutely fascinating, because the most important thing, and I talk a lot about this, which is 10x is easier than 2x. How do you 10x your life and get 10x results rather than 2x results? See, everyone wants 10x results, but they're behaving like a 2x person. And the only way to do it is to raise your mind to a 10x person. That's why I'm here. I'm here as a student. I'm not teaching. I'm not one of the speakers. I'm literally here as a student, because this year my question is, how do I 10x my life? And it starts by changing your mindset. You know, there's a great saying up there, your inner world reflects your outer world. That's why I'm here, because it's time to 10x my life. And if this is something of interest to you, then subscribe to this channel or follow us. As part of our mastermind, there's an elite group of 20 people. We're calling it the 10x Elite, that are going on this journey. And I'll take you all my lessons that I've learned, and I'll help you upgrade your mindset, upgrade your identity, so that you can achieve 10x results. Now, what were some of the key takeaways? The first one was that they did this exercise. We had to burn money. Okay, it was phenomenal. Like, you had to take money out of your pocket, you had to burn it. And they took people through all the different emotions that you went through. So you had to take out $100 or 1,000 Rand, and you had to burn it. And what was so interesting that I took away was I was happy to burn it. Most people had fear and anxiety and scarcity. I come from an abundance mindset. I was happy to burn it. But then he turned that on me and he said, but you're not honoring it. And if you don't honor money and you don't respect it, then if something's not honored and respected, then it doesn't hang around. And it was such an interesting mindset that I tend to give it away too easily. And I don't look after it and I don't respect it. And so that's your blueprint. And what's interesting with your money blueprint is that it keeps you in your guardrails. So like for me personally, for the last 10 years, I've earned a very similar amount of money. Now granted, it's a lot of money compared to most people, but I've stayed in a very similar band. And that's why I'm here, because the Millionaire Mind changes you to change your blueprint. Because if you've got like two parallel lines, and ultimately you're making money, you're losing money, whatever, and you actually sometimes break out of it, subconsciously you sabotage yourself to get back within your guardrails. So that was my first takeaway. And we did a tremendous amount of work yesterday to work on that blueprint, to enhance that blueprint to go to the next level. And once you enhance the blueprint to go to the next level, you achieve new results. The second one for me was the 3 things. So there's 3 ways, they call them the roots of the tree. Now imagine a tree is bearing you fruit. Well, if you're coming from anger, fear, or proving yourself to other people, then those are unhealthy habits. And if you're doing money from fear and you get lots of money, it's going to create more fear, it's going to create more anger or more proving, which then you don't want in your life. And so you self-sabotage yourself to give it away. Again, this is exactly what I've had. Sorry, I don't know if the music's too loud here, the event's about to start. So I realized my biggest programming was that I've been doing this. Anger's fine, I don't have that, but I've got fear and I've got proving, definitely. We went into the childhood wounding around where that comes from and why it happens. And interesting enough, I also have joy and purpose, but I have to let go. And last night we did this whole exercise to let go of the fear and proving, and now focus on joy and purpose, because then you're constantly just going to another level, raising yourself to another level. And that's your money story. And ultimately, if you get healthy roots to your tree, you're going to get healthy fruit and abundance. Number 3 was the limiting beliefs. And I had a beautiful metaphor of updating your software. Like if we're all running our computers today on Windows 95, it just wouldn't work. And so you need to upgrade your software. And they take us through NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to really change that. And I've already said this, but your inner world creates your outer world. And so what are you doing to change your inner world? The only way to change your outer world and to get the results you want is to change your inner world. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying to do the work that I'm doing. My 4th biggest takeaway was one that I love. So I teach people passive income all over the world. But what I learned here was passive business income. Now that's phenomenal, because you can definitely do that quicker. And so it was, how do you do the passive business income? So there's 2 types of passive income. The one is investment, and they talk all about the JARS approach. There's a whole system, and you have to systemize it to make it successful, and you have to manage it. Okay, and if you do that, then you're going to get the results. And then on the other side, you've got the passive business income. And once again, it's all about systemizing and managing. So again, what I've realized is I'm very good at creating businesses and investments, etc. But I really need to work on my systemization and my managing to go to the next level. And you know, there's a great thing here, which actually brings us on to the 5th one, which is all around this whole systemizing and managing money. And there's a book called Millionaire, The Millionaire Next Door. And they went and interviewed all of these wealthy people over the world. And there was one single thing that they all had. If you want to save yourself reading the entire book, it was that they knew how to manage their money. And so my big takeaway from this is I have to go to the next level in terms of systemizing my businesses, systemizing my investments, and managing my money. And I love the approach of the jars when you're systemizing your investments. And this one lady literally started with $1, and now today is worth $20 million. So you can start with anything. She started with $1, she used the jar approach, the system, and she went to $20 million. So there's a whole thing around couples and children and how everyone can do it. My final comment, which I think was so important, is that if you systemize and manage, then that's the fastest way to get your freedom. You get your investment passive income, you get your passive business income, you get both of them working together. That's how you get to your freedom. And in simple terms, I teach people this all the time: your habits determine your destiny. It's your habits that are ultimately going to determine whether you get your freedom or not. So that's Scott Piggin. We had to come up with an elevator pitch. I help people make their money work harder for them by investing like the wealthiest people in the world. We do it through knowledge, technology, and diversification. And the best part is you can literally get started from $10. I think it's getting louder and louder here. We're about to get going for day 2. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to this channel, follow me, or click on the link below and come and join the conversation within our Wealth University, where I'll continue to share all of the latest updates, all the latest learning. Let me be your ears and your eyes so that you can upgrade. But the bottom line is you have to come and do the work. You know, one of the things that I did last night is I was up till midnight and I've done every single exercise in the book. You know, I'm going to 10x my life. This is not small talk. My whole thing this year is how am I going to 10x my life? And it all starts with my intensity, it all starts with my mindset, it all starts with my inner world. And that's why I'm personally here to upgrade so that I can achieve 10x results this year. And my vision, my mission, and my wish for you is that you too can get 10x results. Cheers to the next one.